Hey guys, and welcome to day 3 of our 5-day nutrition course. Thanks for joining us again. Hope you got a lot out of yesterday's video all about exercise, and thank you so much for all the messages that have come through on yesterday's program. I'm really thankful that you guys got a lot out of that. 112 hours of waking hours a week and 3 to 4 hours of movement a week. It's awesome that I got so much good feedback about that little perspective shifter. Today is all about what diet do I do? Which is the best diet? Which is the best diet for me? Okay? It's a great question. It's a very valid question because there's so many diets out there. It's a very fair question. Which one do I do? What the hell do I do? Now, you remember in video 1, we spoke all about energy balance. We spoke about everyone's got their metabolic rates, and if you consume over metabolic rates, fat gain will occur, and if you consume less than metabolic rate, fat loss will occur, okay? So how does this play with all these diets that are going around? What's the go there? Here's what I want to really drive into you today, and that is the diets work because you're in energy negative. The diets work because you're in calorie deficit. The diets don't work because you are doing keto, or because you are low fat, or because you are fasting. They work because these measures are driving you into calorie deficit. If these are working for you or for anybody that you know, they're working because that person has found the thing that easily gets them into calorie deficit. You'll notice that some people would have done keto and said it's the best thing ever, and then you try it and you're like, it sucks. Your friend that did it and it worked for them found that way to be in calorie deficit by eating low carb. But you might love carbs and cut out fat, and it works for you because you can still eat carbs and be in calorie deficit. These two diets are probably the most famous of all time, the exact opposite to each other, yet they work if they are what you can adhere to. If eating low carb is easy for you and it drives you into calorie deficit, good plan. If you love carbs but you can go give or take fat, maybe a low fat plan is better for you if it drives you into calorie deficit. Okay? The thing I want you to get though is the diets, and we could list 1,000 of these. I just gave 3 really current examples. The diets aren't working per se, they're working because they're driving you into calorie deficit. Okay? So I think that's a really important point to make because people think that fasting is the magic bullet. But fasting works because it restricts the amount of food you eat over the course of a day and therefore drives you into calorie deficit. Okay? Low fat works because it cuts out a food group, it cuts out fat from your diet, and therefore you're consuming less food, less calories, and therefore it drives you into calorie deficit. So the point of today's video is what diet is best. There isn't one best diet. It's what you can adhere to. It's what you can stick to. It's what you can maintain. For a lot of people, keto is almost impossible to maintain. For other people, low fat is almost impossible to maintain. So it's what you can stick to long term that's going to be your answer. It's going to be your diet. And we don't love using the word diet, but it's a word, so we'll use it. Describes what food you eat. So the point is, there isn't one answer for everybody. It's very unique, but it's whatever drives you into calorie balance. And here's how I generally go about it with people. I say, okay, let's audit what you're eating now. So write down everything you eat for 3 days. And you examine that and you go, okay, I'm eating, a lot of, let's just say, for example, bread. Okay, and bread's not bad, but let's just use that as an example. I'm eating a lot of bread. I don't really even like bread that much, I could cut that out pretty easily. And you just put a line through that bread and you don't consume as much of it anymore, right? And you reduce the amount of that. And just that one little change is going to drive you further into calorie deficit. It might be anything. It might be coffee. It might be protein shakes. It could be anything. But the point is, you can start to pinpoint these little nuances in your diet that you don't really need, you don't really even enjoy that much, but it's become a habit, or because it's there, or it might be the little lolly jar at work, something like that. You can put a line through it, and that could be literally enough to drive you into calorie deficit. Okay? Now, how we like to work down here in the studio is on a very basic, fundamental meal preparation plan, which includes protein, carbohydrates, and fat at every meal. Okay? And we like to work through that system because we don't believe in cutting whole foods out of your diet. We don't believe in not eating carbs. We don't believe in not eating fat, because for most people that's not sustainable, particularly when you're at grandma's house, when you're in a cafe with the girls, when you're at a birthday party. There's going to be foods that don't fall into these camps. And I think it's really important that you learn and we can understand that we can eat whatever foods we like as long as it drives us into calorie deficit. Okay? So to answer the question of what diet is best, there isn't one. It's what you can stick to. It's what you can adhere to for the long term that's going to be best for you. So really important that you consider long-term adherence when you're starting to play into the nitty-gritty of which food model you should gravitate towards. Okay? Now, you'll see straight away below, there is a free 30-minute strategy session with one of our team where we can start to nut through this and devise a plan for you one-on-one for free, half an hour. Enter your details below and we will be straight on the line to you and we'll get into the nitty-gritty of where you need to be in order to achieve that long-term success you've always wanted. Okay? This was day 3. Hope you got a lot out of this one, guys. We've got 2 more days to go. Super excited for tomorrow's one. It's one of my favorite topics. As always, any questions, any comments, please let us know. Otherwise, strategy session, get onto it, guys. Let us help you. Let us move forward together. Have a wonderful day, and I'll see you tomorrow.